Hello, this is Martial Law News, this is Truth Channel News, and today we will be looking at a picture that is surfaced on Facebook of a UN police vehicle. Now, picture on your screen, you will see this armoured vehicle. Make no mistake, it is armoured, look at the tyres. And now there are two things about this picture that jump out immediately. First off, we have it's a UN vehicle. Why is a UN vehicle in America? But also, we have the word police. Why is the UN policing our streets? They are not part of our government. They are not part of law enforcement, and yet they have these vehicles which are policing our streets. Now, what would happen if you were, say, for example, speeding 2 kilometers over the speed limit, and you got pulled over by this vehicle, and men with AR-15s or AR-15 variants came out and pointed their weapons at you? This is not good. Why do we have UN police vehicles in America? Now what's even more disturbing is that if you look at the red highlighted circle, weapons enforcement, the word weapons enforcement can be seen. Now, what does the word weapons enforcement mean? Well, it means they are enforcing weapons. Now, what weapons would they be enforcing? Could it be they are going to confiscate weapons and they are going to enforce this confiscation? Let's say an order has been issued, an executive order which dictates that all guns must be turned into local police stations. Now, most people, most patriots would say, no, I'm going to keep my weapons, I'm going to keep my Second Amendment rights. But what if these vehicles came up and they tried to take away your guns? And now we have the 2016 election coming up very soon, and while I don't think that something very bad is going to happen, I don't think that these vehicles will be confiscating guns soon, I do believe they are making a build-up. They are building up these vehicles and they are using them to intimidate people. They are using them to incentivize people to give back their guns. Now, on the news lately, there have been lots of gun buyback programs where people hand in their guns for money. Now, this could be okay. You could not want your gun anymore, and that's your right to give it back to the police for cash. However, what if an announcement was made saying, give back your guns, and then there were these vehicles, UN police, weapons enforcement vehicles, traveling the roads, enforcing this order? This could very well be a sign that martial law could be happening soon, because we have a massive build-up of these vehicles. Now, we also have pictures on your screen of UN planes. UN planes landing in America, and these UN planes are depositing these types of vehicles. They are depositing these UN troops, and they are doing this more and more often. Now, why are they transporting so much equipment, so many troops into America? Now, some people say that this is because they use America as a staging base, which makes sense. We are part of the United Nations, so it makes sense there will be some vehicles in America, some vehicles which will then be transported to other locations such as war-torn countries. What doesn't make sense is why they are transporting so many of these equipment from these war-torn countries. Wouldn't it not make sense that these vehicles will be sent over where they are needed, where there is an armed conflict going on, so they can support the local civilian population? It does not make sense that they are transporting these equipment back to America, where they are then stockpiling it. And what's even more disturbing is we got the weapons enforcement, so they are stockpiling these vehicles for weapons enforcement. Now, this alone may not seem like a massive thing, it may not seem like a big thing, but what has happened is there are all these super small actions that are taking place. All these super small actions, and they constantly build upon each other, which paints a picture. Now, there is footage of these UN vehicles being transported along our roads. There should be a video on my channel which shows this, and this was taken by a trucker who recorded these vehicles being transported. And yet here we have more evidence that there was something fishy going on, because we have a weapons enforcement vehicle. This has been Martial Law News, this has been New World Order News. I want you to keep your eyes open and to report these vehicles to whoever you think needs to know this information, because we need to alert the population that the UN is not welcome in America, that the UN is doing something fishy in America. This has been Martial Law News. Thank you.